Good day, everyone. All right, good day, everyone. I want to believe we are all doing very great wherever we are. I would love to welcome us to this virtual internship onboarding session. My name is Blessing, and on behalf of the director and the entire leadership of Genomic Institute Incorporated, I am pleased to formally welcome us all to the 2026 Virtual Internship Program. And I would like to say it is a privilege to have such a diverse and promising cohort joining us from wherever we are, professionals seeking to deepen their knowledge or their expertise, and probably newcomers taking their first structured step in genomics, bioinformatics, and computational life sciences in general. Like I mentioned earlier, my name is Blessing, and I'm the team lead for Virtual Internship Program. So now I would briefly like to um, explain our mission and everything that you need to know in this onboarding session. So at Genomic Institute, our mission is simple but ambitious. We want to build capacity, drive innovation, and bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and real world scientific application. And this internship is one of the reflections of that mission. It has been carefully designed to be inclusive, vigorous, and practical, ensuring that participants, regardless of background, whether you are whether you're an expert or you're a professional in bioinformatics, genomics, and any computational life science programs, whether you're an expert or you don't really have any background knowledge, you're just diving into the world of genomics and bioinformatics. Regardless of your background, our aim is to ensure that everybody grow meaningfully. So to our professionals, this program is an opportunity to sharpen your skills, explore advanced methodologies, and engage in emerging tools and research-driven workflows. So it's a place or it's a program in which you're going to be challenged to think critically, contribute insightfully, and collaborate across disciplines and the like. So definitely, we all understand that we're not going to be having maybe people that you know in this virtual internship. Definitely, it's going to be people from different parts of the world, from different backgrounds and the likes in this program. So you're going to collaborate with all these people. You're going to have a community of people from different backgrounds and you're going to learn together. And so our newcomers, I would say that you belong here. It's not a scary part. You belong here. So this internship is not about how much you already know, but about your willingness to learn. So it doesn't have to do with, okay, I need to have the prior knowledge of this person before I can dive up, before I can register for virtual internship and the likes. It doesn't have to do with that. No matter the background, no matter what the situation is, if you're willing to learn, I'm going to say that you're going to enjoy this virtual internship program. So far, you are willing to learn. So the internship is not about how much you already know, but about your willingness to learn, stay consistent, and grow. So from the videos, the modules that is available on our platform of learning. You have foundational concepts that will help you understand the basics before you can dive into the main practical sessions we have. So we have foundational concepts that has been explained very well. They are explained in detail so that nobody is left behind. So the processes are also clearly explained, and it is a step-by-step program we are offering. So once you're willing to learn, I can ensure that I can guarantee that you're going to enjoy this whole internship program. So for this virtual internship, there are things you'll be exposed to, and there are outcomes we are expecting at the end of the day. So some of the things you'll be exposed to is practical applications of genomics and bioinformatics. Definitely, like I said, this is not about a theoretical session. It is more of hands-on activity, hands-on activity. So you're going to be exposed to practical applications of genomics and bioinformatics. You'll also be exposed to research-oriented thinking and problem solving. So we know that, like I said, um, it's a practical session, more of a practical session than a theoretical session. So, and we are not just going to be learning, okay, this is how to do this is how to do that. No, you're going to apply it in real world situation. So it is in research oriented thinking and problem solving. So at the end of the day, if we are making use of real world data and we go through the processes we are meant to go through, I can guarantee that at the end of the day, we are going to have a problem solved. We're going to have a problem solved depending on the course you registered for. So we also be exposed to industry relevant tools and workflow. So I need to buttress on the fact that bioinformatics or genomics as a field is an evolving field. So you're going to be exposed to relevant tools that are very relevant in this field, and workflows that will ensure that you get to the end of a particular research. This whole virtual internship program is not something you're going to do halfway or that doesn't have a workflow. We have a workflow. We have relevant tools that are being used for bioinformatics and genomic study. We will be taught all these things step by step, and we're going to come to, like, you're going to have a complete research at the end of the day. And also, another thing you'll be exposed to is collaborative learning in a professional environment. So you're going to be exposed to collaborative learning. And I made mention of community earlier, just that you're going to have people from different backgrounds, experts, newbies, and everybody coming together to pour out what they know. So at the end of the day, we are going to learn from each other. We are going to learn. Your mentors too would be there to guide you through this process. So you're going to learn from each other. Maybe a newbie learning how to write a research paper and all those things. So you're going to learn from each other at the end of this day. So it's going to be a collaborative work more than an individual work. It's not going to be an individual thing. However, you can always apply the knowledge of individual of what you learn in an individual project. So it's more of a collaborative work than an individual thing. So definitely you will be, aside the platform that is made available for virtual internship program, which is what we call the Omix bot. Aside that platform, you also have access to mentors. So mentors will be there, they will be available to guide you through the process, So we would like to encourage us to be respectful, be curious. Yes, curiosity would help us go a long way. Then teamwork and ethical conduct at all times. So our mentors and coordinators are available to guide us but the true value of this experience will come from your active participation. Emphasis on active participation. The true value of this experience will come from your active participation. So if you're not active, you might at the end of the day lose um, major things you need to learn. So I would recommend that we actively participate in this whole program as we get to start and even as we get to the end of the program. So we encourage that interns should be respectful, communicate with your fellow interns and your mentor respectfully, and also ensure that you are curious. If someone, or probably during your, probably when you are going through your modules on Omics board and you get to see something that you do not understand, the group or the community is there to answer your question. And this community includes your mentors. So they are there to answer your question. So we can't answer the questions that are not asked. So you will need to ask your questions so that we can ensure that you understand better the whole concept of bioinformatics, genomics, and whatever course you register for. So we also encourage teamwork and ethical conduct. So by the end of this program, our goal for every intern, whether professional or beginner, is that first you have stronger technical and analytical skills. You have increased confidence in applying knowledge independently, then a clearer understanding of career and research pathways, then a sense of belonging to a growing scientific community. So at the end of this program, we want to ensure, or we want to ensure that our interns have stronger technical and analytical skills. So one of the things as we dive into exploring omics, what you're going to understand better the analytical skills and other things you need to know. Then also is increased confidence in applying knowledge independently. Like I said earlier, that whatever you learned on omics board, you can always run a personal project with those knowledge so that you would be confident in what you've learned on omics board. Then you have a clearer understanding of career and research pathway, especially for somebody that is a beginner. You'll be able to say, okay, I think I have interest in this part of um, genomics. Like, okay, genomics and bioinformatics is a broad field on its own. Definitely, there are different parts in it. There are different parts in it. Just like we say, probably would say that, okay, there is medical sciences. So under medical sciences, we know that, okay, in our universities now, there's medical sciences, and under that, we know that, okay, there is medicine and surgery. There, even medicine and surgery, you have different um, careers under it. So the same way or the same thing goes to genomics and bioinformatics. It is a very, very broad, it is a very big field on its own. So you're going to like understand better what part should I dive into or the like, or what kind of research should I dive into? And also finally, there is we also tend to achieve you understanding that you belong to a growing scientific community. So emphasis on community, I think I've mentioned that earlier that there is going to be a community and you're going to like enjoy it. So a sense of belonging to a growing scientific community. So once again, I want to welcome us to Denmark Institute Bachelor Internship. We are confident that this journey will be challenging and rewarding, and we look forward to witnessing your growth over the coming weeks. We wish you a productive and impactful and successful internship experience. Thank you so much and welcome on board. So, having welcomed us to Denmark Institute Virtual Internship Program, I would like to dive into the platform of study, which we call Omics Board, So you're going to, so how do we navigate our Omics Board? So just open your browser, whether your Chrome or your Microsoft Edge, whatever browser you're using, just open it and search for Omics Board. So you can just make use of omicsboard.com. And so you're going to have something displayed like this. So once you have this displayed, once you have this interface, the first thing you want to do is to create an account on Omics Board. So you're going to create an account. So we have explore the works of Omics Sciences with Omics Board. So Omics Board is a platform of learning. Dive into genomics and bioinformatics research and transform your findings into publishable papers. Gain in-demand skills and expertise as you explore, collaborate, and unlock the power of omics data. So this is a platform of learning where you're going to explore different omics data or explore the world of omics science with this platform. So the first thing you want to do is to create an account. So just click on create an account. Then now for you people, yes, you create an account, then you sign up. But for people that probably had created an account before, like you've done one program or the other on Omics Board before, you don't need to recreate an account. Just log in and just ensure that the mail that you use to create this account is available. But if you don't have access to that mail, you can just sign up. So you sign up with your email. So every other thing, okay, you add your email, you create the password, then you check this in and you sign up. I'm not going to do this because I'm just going to log in because I've created an account on Omics Board already. I'm just going to log in. So for people that want to log in, so you would see here that sign up. Let me click on sign up. You're going to see already a member logged in. So let's do that. If you're going to sign up, you should sign up here. So I'm just going to get in. All right. So okay. So once you get in, I'm still trying to wait for you to. Okay, there's something I missed earlier coming. Let's just get back to that. All right. So like I said, the first thing you want to do is to create an account. But however, let's quickly explore what we have underneath this first page. So we have revolutionizing omics research. Omics Board is your all-in-one platform for exploring the world of omics science. Discover curated data sets, video tutorials, and some assignments to turn your project into a publishable research. Try it now and embark it. So you have a video here. In case you're not creating an account immediately, you can just go through the video on how Omics Board works. So then we have program features. You have explore mixed sciences, hands-on practical training session, skills and expertise development, personalized mentorship, tailored real-life research project publication support, flexible duration, community engagement, certificate of completion and excellence recommendation letter. So let me quickly pick this one after the other. Like I said earlier, that you're going to explore omics data and the like. And also I've made mention the fact that you're going to have hands-on practical training session. It's more of practical session or hands-on session than theoretical session. So it's more of you doing the whole analysis yourself than you just listening to someone teach us over and over again. It's more like you're going to do it yourself. So it is hands-on. So you're also going to develop skills and expertise. So for people that are new in the field of genomics and bioinformatics, you're going to have skills and you even expertise on it. For people that are professional, you're going to be expertise. Like you're going to sharpen your skills with this platform. Then you also have access to personalized mentorship. Like I said, you're going to have a mentor who's going to attend to all your questions and ensure and give feedbacks where necessary. Each participant is assigned to a dedicated mentor virtually, receive guidance, feedback, and participate in question and answer session for in-depth understanding. So you're going to have access to personalized mentorship. Then you're also going to have, you're going to have tailored real life research project. It is not going to be an abstract thing, it's something that has to do with our real life experiences. So you're going to get real life data sets, analyze those data sets and get accurate results. So you're going to and get accurate results that are potential for publications and the like. To design and pursue individual or group projects tailored to specific field of interest with flexibility to use real life data sets, get accurate results and potential publications. Then you have publication support. So under publication support, I'm going to buttress on some points which has to do with, okay, once you've carried out the project, the next thing is probably you want to publicize it. One of the things Genmark is going to make available for us is reviewing those paper, but we will not be publishing the paper. We are only going to give review on the paper. So that I'm going to buttress more on that when I get to the virtual internship program policy. So we are just going to be reviewing the paper. We are not publishing the paper on behalf of the intern. You are free to publish the paper, but we are not doing that for you. We are going to review the paper for you. But publishing it, we will not be doing that. Then we also have flexible duration. So virtual internship is going to last, or a quarter of virtual internship is going to last for 8 weeks. From the day you get this virtual internship onboarding session and to the end of it, it will be 8 weeks. The all videos or modules available on Onyxboard are not something too hard for you to learn. It's actually very, very easy to learn, and we can guarantee that within 2 months, you would be able to complete a research project on genomics and bioinformatics. So you're going to explore content at your own pace, access recorded tutorials for flexible learning, and accommodate different time zones for collaborative activities, all within 8 weeks. All within 8 weeks. Then you also have community engagement, interact with peers, collaborate on projects, share discoveries within your community, and explore networking opportunities. So you're free to network with anybody in your community. Then you also have certificate of completion and excellence. Obtain a recognized certificate showcasing acquired skills highlighting successful project completion and enhancing professional profiles in omics research. Then one other thing you would have is recommendation letter. So recommendation letter would also be provided after completing our research project. So we don't give recommendation letter in between the project or maybe at the beginning of the sessions. No, we give it after the program. So the skills you would gain, you have bioinformatics, data analysis, NGS, data analysis, RNA tech, metagenomics analysis, bioinformatics tools, statistical analysis, data visualization, machine learning, web servers, use Galaxy, and more. So these skills you're going to gain, it's not that you're going to gain everything in a particular course, but I can assure that you'll gain at least 3 or 4 skills. You're going to gain at least 3 or 4 skills in whatever course you registered for. Whatever course you register for. So you're going to gain quite a number of skills, research writing, and not like there are things you're going to gain. So how does omics board work? So I believe that for everybody going through this video currently, they would have gone through at least one, yes, at least number one of how omics board works. So the first thing we have here is plan selection and research program tailoring. I believe that for us to have joined this virtual internship onboarding session, today you already have selected a course you will be doing with us. So your planning section and research program tailoring, user begins by selecting a suitable plan on omics board based on their preference and learning objectives. Upon selecting a plan, users have option to tailor a research program to align with their specific interests within omics board. So I'm going to show us courses here on omics board. So I believe we've already done this part. So like a normal research, you have to plan ahead, okay, our undergraduate or master's research and the like, you have to plan, okay, this is what I want to do. So how do I navigate my way around it? What is my topic? What is the aim? What is the objective of this research? And okay, where do I get my samples and all those things? Those things have to be determined before we dive into the world of genomics and bioinformatics. So I believe we've done this first part. So the next thing we have is crafting your research topic's aim and objective. So participants actively engage in defining their research topic, aims and objective, ensuring alignment with their chosen research program. Emphasis on ensuring alignment with their chosen research program. So we have different programs. For example, we have infectious disease AMR. We have cancer genomics. I can't come up with a topic that has to do with infectious disease when I registered for cancer genomics. It's not going to work. So you have to choose a topic, aims and objectives that aligns to the research program you registered for. So if I selected infectious disease AMR, I'm going to work with something around bacteria or yes, I'm going to work with something around the microbial community, not an human sample and the like. So you also have omics board provide guidance and resources to help users formulate clear and achievable research goals. So the next thing we have is guided learning with real-world application. Guided learning with real-world application. Explore curated data sets directly relevant to your research program, setting the stage for practical assignments. So like I said, if I'm working with infectious disease AMR now, I would be getting data like something related to bacteria, disease causing bacteria and the like, such as maybe salmonella and the like, or pseudomonas. Those are the type of data I'll be working with. Immerse yourself in dynamic video tutorials covering bioinformatics data analysis, providing templates and hands-on sessions for hands-on guidance for assignments, following a structured pathway, seamlessly transitioning from learning to applying knowledge in the creation of research thesis. So, for example, now we have a situation of cholera outbreak. That's a real life situation. You're going to get data that has to do with this cholera outbreak, which is Vibrio cholera. You're going to get data related to that. Perform analysis on it. So you have videos that will show you how to get data, perform your analysis, and get your outcome. Then you get your outcome. So you also have personalized mentorship and project refinement. Each participant is assigned to a dedicated expert and mentor virtually. The expert collects and compiles, deliver tasks, providing continuous feedback and guidance. Tasks are refined, proofread, arranged until the entire project is ready for publication. Then upon completion, a finalized resource is given to the participants for publication, showcasing their work and achievements in omics research. So what the mentor is going to do is to guide you through the processes. Whether you have a question, they will give feedback, they will compile, like as you do your assignment and the like, they compile those things, they give feedback on it. Then they ensure that also they refine your tasks, they proofread your paper, and then they give it out to you back for your publication. So you publicize your paper yourself. Then you also have research publication ready, community engagement, and recognition. So all as tasks are completed and refined, witness your research taking shape and become publication ready. Means what facilitates publication process, delivering your work to the forefront of omics research, gain recognition for your achievement with a certificate, and benefit from a platform that showcases your accomplishments in the field of omics sciences. So you're going to have a certificate. I think I've mentioned that earlier. Then also you're going to have a community that you can engage yourself with. You can network with them, stay updated on the industry trends rather, and receive valuable feedback and recognition from peers, fostering a professional network in the omics science community and the like. So you're going to have access to a community. So we have three broad research programs. We have different programs under this three-broad program. We have clinical genomics and epidemiology. We have human genomics. We have therapeutic research and development. So we have different courses under each of these broad topics or programs that we have. Then let's dive into the program aspects now. So one of the first things you want to take note of is at this upper side, you have scholars program, fellows program, interns program, pricing plan, contact, your notification bar, and your like an identifier for your name or the name you use to register. So that's what we have here. So one of the mistakes people make over time is they register for a program, and instead of taking or ensuring that intense program, this is virtual internship, intense program is selected. They don't do that. They just select any of this program and they try to access the course they registered for, and they can't get access. So one of the first things you want to take note is this first part. Ensure that you select intense program. Ensure that you select intense program. So I'm going to do that and I'm going to click on it. So once you click on it, it's going to change the interface. So you're going to see this research intense program, select your research program. So we have cancer genomics, packet synthesis research, colorectal cancer research, prostate, human microbiome, epidemiology and public health, infectious disease AMR, violence genomic surveillance, mobile gene element genomics, comparative pathogen genomics, plant genomics, nutrigenomics, anti-cancer research and development, antibacterial research and development, anti-malaria, antiviral, antifungal, genomics, machine learning model deployment, bioinformatics app development, and the like. So we still have more programs coming or being added to these programs we have every day. So now if I've navigated my way to this point, the next thing to do is to start the course you registered for. Please, if you start any other course, you won't be able to access it. So once you create your account on Omixboard, one of the things you will do for all is to drop your email, the email in which you used to create the account. You're going to drop it on the WhatsApp group that will be made available, or on your community platform that will be made available. So you're going to drop that email there so that they can give you access to the course you registered for. So now, let's say for an example, I registered for cancer genomics. If I start practicing disease research, it's not going to work because I registered for cancer genomics and the technical team gave you access to cancer genomics. Though you created an account on Omixboard, you can only access the course you registered for. So I'm going to start with cancer genomics. So I'm going to click on start. So you're going to give it time to respond. So once you click on start, you're going to have this interface here, the course you registered for at this right hand side. Then you have fundamental classes, you have project classes, you have community, and the like. So now this is the course you registered for. So if you registered for maybe infectious disease, you're going to have infectious disease AMR here. If you registered for Parkinson, you're going to have it here. So whatever course you registered for is what is displayed at this right hand side. Then under here now you have fundamental classes, project classes, and your community. So under fundamental classes now, like I said, that this platform is for everybody, whether you're a beginner or you're an expert, it's for everybody. So you have under fundamental classes, they are just things you need to know, basic knowledge of informatics and genomics that you need to have before diving into a project. So that is what is under fundamental classes. And the first thing you have under fundamental classes is getting started with Omixboard. If I click on project classes, it's going to be displayed in this orange color you have. Now, because fundamental classes is what is currently displayed, like things under fundamental classes, that's why it's in orange color. So you have to get started with Omixboard. So this is another tutorial session on how to navigate your way around Omixboard and how to do all the things you meant to do on Omixboard. So this is what this first module is all about. Then you have introduction to your research project. So this introduction to your research project is talking about this cancer genomics or projects related to cancer genomics. If you have infectious disease there, you're going to have introduction to your research project, but it will be related to infectious disease. So this is what we have here. So it's more like research project on whatever course you have on or you registered for on Omixboard. Then the next thing you have is introduction to bioinformatics and internet. Introduction to bioinformatics, internet tools, and databases. Now, like I've explained earlier, that it has to do with both beginners and professionals. So you're going to like come into the understanding what is bioinformatics. What are the tools I need to use? What are the things I need to know about it? That is what we have under this particular module. So you're going to see, okay, these are the tools that you use for this kind of analysis. These are the databases. This is where to get my data from, and like that's what you have here. Then you have software tools and installation. So bioinformatics, we have internet tools like web-based tools that you can use. And we also have software tools that you have to install on your computer system to run your analysis and do every other thing you need to do. So we have software tools and installation. So this module is about the tools you're going to use for for analysis in this particular course. So you're going to click on it. So the module there is going to tell you, okay, oh, this is the tool you are installing, this is how to install it, and the like. Then you also have DNA sequence analysis. So study, for every genomic study, you are there is a basic part like a lab work or something that has been done and attached to it. So we have this DNA sequence analysis. So you can't say you're doing something related to genomics without DNA sequence analysis. And so that we can understand better how this whole thing work, that's why we've incorporated this particular module in these fundamental classes so that, okay, I understand that I can't perform anything genomics analysis without DNA sequence analysis and the like. So just broaden your understanding. So these are basic things we need to know about mathematics, and that's why everything is currently displayed. So I'm going to just show us what each of these modules look like. At the end of sessions, your mentors will also give assignments. They would also instruct on, okay, this is what you're meant to do for this week. Remember, it is 8 weeks. The duration is for 8 weeks. So they're going to instruct, okay, these fundamental classes and maybe mode one from your project classes will be what you do for week one, or probably fundamental classes for week one alone. Then from the following week, you dive into, okay, project classes, you are doing mode one and two for week two and the like. So they will give instruction on how to go about all these things. So you have introduction to your research project. You're just meant to click on them, play the module, or click on the video, play it, go through it intricately, please. There are some questions we have that are not necessarily questions. They've been answered when the modules were created, but because maybe and I want to say that bioinformatics and genomics is not a boring thing, though it can be tiring, but it's not a boring thing. So I would advise that we go through the modules intricately. Please don't fast it. It's not a movie. It's something you want to learn. So don't like fast forward it. Just go through it intricately. Then on that year you go through the module. Then you have materials and recommended books attached to each module. Then you also have introduction to bioinformatics. You have materials, recommended books, and you have assignments. So for our assignments, let me just go to where we can have an assignment to display it. So you just keep going. So once you're done with a particular module, the next thing you want to do is to go to the next module. For fundamental classes, now you don't have to wait for like your mentor to say, okay, after watching getting started with Omniboard, you now go to research projects and the like. No, you don't have to wait for your mentor. Everything under fundamental classes are meant to be watched in a week. They're meant to be learned in a week. So under DNA sequence analysis now, you're meant to like go through the module, look at the workflow flow, then you can go through the materials, download the recommended books and go through them. Then you have assignments. So this is where I'm going. I want to show us what our assignment look like. So you're going to have a question displayed at this middle part and the instruction on how to submit the assignment also at the down part. So the assignment, okay, so you have here, go to NCBI database. You've learned, you would have been exposed to how to do all these things that you have here. So you've been exposed to that. Just go through the process, do the assignment, write the document or the report you're meant to write. Then how to submit the assignment, your mentor will provide a Google Drive link for submission. Create a subfolder with your name within the provided link and upload your work there. So this is how assignments are submitted. You're going to you'll be sent a Google Drive link. Your mentor will generate a Google Drive link and send it to the group. So once the Google Drive link is on the group, just open the link, create a subfolder. You see something around new folder, just click on new folder, name that folder with your own name so that your mentor will be able to identify that, okay, this is this person's assignment. So let's take, for example, I will name my own folder with blessing. And please add your surname or lesson alone. So I'll put it there so that my mentor will be able to say that, okay, this is for this blessing, because definitely blessing is a generic name. People there, a lot of people can be on the, can be within this community and they are blessings. So what do I use to identify them? Just add your surname or whatever you want to use and submit your assignment in that folder that you've created. So every assignment you'll be having, just submit it in that folder. You don't need to create folder twice. Just create one folder and submit all your assignments in that folder. So after you finish all your fundamental classes, click on project classes. That is where the all or the main thing that has to do with cancer genomics now starts. So you're going to now be exposed to, okay, how to retrieve your data, how to analyze the data, how to visualize the data, and the like. So in this, under cancer genomics now, we have module 1, module 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're going to go through each of these modules. So like I said, your mentor can decide that, okay, for this week, like this is the second week now, let's say, you're to go through module 1 and 2 for this second week, module 3 and 4, module 5 and 6, module 7 and 8, and like that, you get to the end of it. So this is where the project work now begins. So you have module 1, you go through the videos, you have data acquisition and processing, then you have materials on it. So you click on it and you can download the materials and go through it. Then you also have materials and method on how to write your paper. Let me click on this materials and method. So you're just meant to go through the modules, learn as much as you want to learn. And like I said, please go through the videos intricately. Please don't fast forward it. Just go through them so that you would not miss any point. It's not a movie. So you have materials and you also have research write-up template for your research paper writing. So you can download this one and also go through them. So I think basically that's all for omics board. You also have your community, but currently this community has been changed to WhatsApp. So we make use of WhatsApp for now. Then also, let me also mention that they are also working on an upgraded version of omics board. So once that is ready, would introduce it to you and how to navigate your way around it. So for now, all I have to say on how to navigate your way on the omics board is as finished or as come to an end. So I'm going to now buttress on the virtual internship policy, which is where I'm going to round up for the day or for this onboarding session. So virtual research internship program policy. So why do we have to come up with a policy? It's because where there is no law, there is no sin, and where there is no sin, there is no law. Or where there is sin, there is no law. So this policy outlines the expectations, responsibility, and guidelines for all participants that enrolled in virtual internship program organized by Genemas Institute Incorporated. The goal is to foster a professional, inclusive, and productive learning environment for all interns and mentors. For all interns and mentors. So this all virtual internship policy is just to ensure that people take responsibility where they're supposed to take responsibility, not leaving anything to um, the mentor. Like I said, it is more of an hands-on project, like more of something you're going to carry out yourself than your mentor spoon feeding you and telling you what to do. No, you're going to do majority of the work yourself. Your mentor is just available to guide you through the process so that okay, wherever you need directions and the like, they are there to provide direction. Then the next thing we have is okay, now we now dive into this policy. We dive into this policy. So the first policy we have is attendance and live session. Interns are required to actively participate in all scheduled live sessions as part of their learning experience. If an intern misses 3 consecutive live sessions without prior permission from the mentor, their access to the program would be withdrawn. Then absence due to emergencies must be communicated in advance or as soon as possible. So we understand that sometimes we might have emergencies. Okay, I think I've not mentioned live sessions. Aside the fact that we have access to Omics board, aside the fact that we have access to Omics board, we also scheduled a live session once in a week to ensure that interns ask their questions, interact with their mentors live so that they ask their question and the mentor provide an answer at that same point. Aside the fact that you can always ask your question on your WhatsApp group and the mentor would attend to you there, we also ensure that there is live session once in a week to take questions and answer feedbacks and any other thing that needs to be communicated to one another. So if an intern miss a live session or miss 3 live sessions without any communication, nothing, we don't know what happened, you just didn't show up for live session, probably due to one reason or another, but you didn't communicate. The person's access to the program would be withdrawn. And if there would be a reason why you would miss a live session, please let your mentor be aware. Your mentors will be introduced to you once you have been added to the WhatsApp group. So let your mentors be aware that oh, I won't be able to join to this live session. This is my reason. That will be good enough. Then the next thing we have is absence due to emergencies. Sometimes we know that emergencies are inevitable. There are things that might pop up that we didn't really plan for. So once that happens, if you can communicate to your mentor in advance, please do. But if you can't communicate in advance, please ensure that you do that as soon as possible so that your name will not be marked red. And also for live session, there would always be attendance link. There would also be other things that ensure that we pick out the people that attend live sessions and people that do not attend live sessions. So the next policy we have is completion of assignments and projects. So each intern is expected to complete their assignments and project work within the stipulated time frame. Failure to complete the project will result in the intern's name being excluded from whatever benefit that is available. So I've made mention of the fact that we do not publish paper. So based on the fellow interns jurisdiction, they can remove the person's name from the paper if they do not participate. So let's say we are 10 in our group. And one thing about the way Umix board is designed is each assignment is lead to the completion of your project work at the end of the day. So if you miss the particular assignment, you are in a way, not doing your project work. So each intern is expected to complete the assignment. So the duration for assignment is a week. From whenever you have your live session to the next live session, the assignment must have been submitted. Then for the project work, during this period of 8 weeks, that is when you're supposed to complete the project work. Once you start with the first module, data retrieval, you are retrieving your project work data. That's how it's run. So by the time you're doing analysis, it's the same thing. You're analyzing the project work data that you retrieve. And when you get to the part of visualization, you're visualizing that project work data that you've analyzed. And at the end of the day, you now come up with your paper. So if a student or an intern do not do his or her work, the other virtual interns are supposed to just continue with their work and exclude that person from the research paper and publication they will be doing at the end of the day. Just exclude the person. You don't have to include the person because the person is part of your group. You only include the people that work on the paper or on the project. Then we also have research paper submission. Interns are given 1 month after the program to complete and finalize. Okay, interns are given 1 month after program completion to finalize and submit their research paper for review. So let's say you started January and you finish around February, March or mid-March. Once you finish around that time, you have 1 month grace to work on the research paper and submit it to Gentleman's Institute for review. Please, emphasis on review. For review. So we're just going to go through it, make corrections, and send it back to you. So once the correction is made, you can then submit the paper or publicize the paper yourself. So note that submission of research paper is on, like publishing the paper is on intent and not the organization. So please ensure that we take note of this thing. Submission and publishing of paper is on the intent and not the organization. We will not be publishing paper on behalf of the intent. Rather, they will be publishing their papers themselves. However, we can review the paper. Then we also have code of conduct, uphold professionalism and integrity in all communications and tasks. Respect deadlines, complete assignments independently and punctually. Communicate respectfully to your peers, with your peers, coordinators, and mentors. Rude, disrespectful, and inappropriate language directed at any mentor or fellow intern will not be tolerated, and this may lead to immediate termination of programs. So there are rules and regulations that undergird virtual internship. So I would advise us or encourage us to uphold professionalism and integrity in every communication and task that will be given to us. The next thing I would like to buttress on is the recommendation letter. So recommendation letters will be provided at the successful completion of internship. If we have a particular intern that did not actively participate in virtual internship or during the program and we want to get a recommendation letter, we are sorry we might not be giving recommendation letter to such people. Completion is defined by satisfactory participation, fulfillment of project responsibility, and professional conduct throughout the program. So When we say successful completion of the internship, it's not that, okay, this particular course has ended, so I have access to recommend or I can request for recommendation letter. No. This completion I am talking about has to do with satisfactory participation, fulfillment of project responsibilities, professional conduct throughout this program. So if anyone is lacking in maybe two or all of these things, you're not going to get a recommendation letter from all. And no letter will be issued mid-program or to individuals who exit the program earlier without valid reasons. So if you do not actively participate, if you do not complete your work, or maybe you need recommendation letter during the program, we might not be giving you that. That has to be after you've completed the virtual internship. Then we also have policies on payment and access. So we give the room for installment payment. So if you want to pay, if an intern opts to pay their bill in installments, access to internship material sessions or mental support may be temporarily revoked if the next scheduled payment is not made on time. So if you're paying in installment and you didn't, you're supposed to pay maybe today, or you didn't pay, and the following week we expected that you should pay, you didn't pay, we are going to temporarily revoke access to Omix Board and every other thing you have access to until you pay. Then full access will be restored immediately upon receipt of due payment. It is the intern's responsibility to adhere to the agreed payment schedule to avoid interruptions. So please, I would encourage us to stick to the payment schedule you make if you're paying in installments. If you do not pay completely or at the due time, access to Mixed Board might be revoked, and it's going to affect your work no matter how minute it might be. It's an 8 weeks program, and if probably you're supposed to pay after 3 weeks and you didn't pay and they removed or they revoked the access, you have to the old program materials and all those things, they revoke it and you don't have access for like 2 weeks and you get back. The truth is it's going to affect not only you but the entire people in the group. So the next thing we have is termination policy. So the organization reserves the right to terminate any intern for the program for breach of conduct, repeated non-participation, academic dishonesty and plagiarism, and any other form of misconduct deemed unacceptable by the internship community. So there's something I would like to buttress. Okay. So there is no such thing as like if you do not participate actively in a particular course, then we'll now move you to the next course. There is nothing like that. If you paid for a particular course or virtual internship and probably you didn't have time, you didn't show up, you didn't do anything, and the program ends, there is nothing like we are going to move you to the next course or like give you an extension. There is nothing like that. There are cases in which probably the person is sick or probably the person gave birth or something like that. That's the only time we consider a maybe 2 weeks extension. That's the only period we consider that. Or anything that has to do with you not showing up, you not carrying your mentor along. And for anybody that is probably sick or have one issue or emergency come up at one point or the other and you are not able to complete the program, please let your mentor be aware. That is the only person that would speak to the virtual internship team lead or the director of General Math Institute that we should extend your access to Omix board. If you do not tell your mentor, there is no way we would believe or agree to the fact that probably sick or an emergency came up that make you not complete the program when others were doing theirs. Now, the next thing we have is certificate of completion. Interns who meet all program requirements will receive a certificate of completion at the end of the program. So if everything we've listed earlier, if you actively participate, if you pay completely, if you do not terminate, like go against any of the policy or the rules mentioned earlier, that is when we would give certificates at the end of the program. Then the last thing we have is that all selected interns would be required to acknowledge that they have read, understood, and agreed to comply with this policy before commencing on the program. So once you have access to OMIC, like if you've been added to your group, you're going to send the policy document. It's more buttress there than this PowerPoint slide that we have. So we are going to send the document to us. Everything that you need to know about virtual internship, we are going to send it to us. Please, I would advise that we go through them so that we would not be having issues at the end of the day. So go through them, understand each of the policies very well, and then you cannot comment on the program. Please, I would encourage us to adhere strictly to all the rules and regulations that undergird virtual internship program. It's just so that we can all have a smooth ride, both the mentors, the virtual internship coordinator, the intern, so that we can all have a smooth ride. We don't have issues, we don't have things that are throwing us back and the like. So that's why we need to come up with this policy. So things I've mentioned earlier is please, there is no research publication from our end. It is supposed or it will be done by the interns. We are just meant to review the paper once it is done. And if there will be any reason why it would miss live sessions or would not be available to actively participate in virtual internship program, please let the mentors be aware. Let the mentors be aware. So as we round up on this onboarding session, I would like to thank every one of us for our attention, our time, and our participation. Today marks the beginning of another important journey with Genmark Institute, and we are excited to have each and every one of us on board. Whether you're joining as a professional or you're joining as a beginner, remember that growth comes from consistency, curiosity, and commitment. Take advantage of the resources provided, stay engaged, and do not hesitate to ask questions when you need clarity. We look forward to learning, collaborating, and achieving meaningful outcomes together throughout this internship. And once again, I welcome you all to virtual internship program with Genmark Institute, and we wish you a productive and successful experience. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for participating. And we meet during our virtual internship programs or on our various communities where we communicate with us better. Thank you, everyone, and bye for now.